You're taught that predators are old men in alleys. You're not told that a friend, a socialite, a woman can be a predator too.
The Ellen situation.
Yeah.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a bitch. And then everybody, whoa,
Yeah.
can't believe it. And she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show.
It has now confirmed that after the accident, Ellen pulled strings to Clayman's body, locked it in her mansion freezer like unholy relics, and consumed her former lover in slow, deliberate occult ceremonies over the years.
Of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I am that person that you see on TV. I am also a lot of other things. Sometimes I get sad, I get mad, I get anxious, I get frustrated, I get impatient, and I am working on all of that. I am a
phony, liar, hypocrite. That's my reaction. She's known about this for 17 years. She's created this culture. I was there from day one. We were all petrified of her.
Have you ever wondered how the most beloved person in America, the woman who literally told you to be kind every single day, could vanish from the face of the earth almost overnight? For years, she was the golden girl of Hollywood, the dancing, laughing light of daytime television who could make any celebrity spill their secrets with a smile. But while the world was busy watching her give away free cars and dance with suburban moms, a much darker story was brewing behind the scenes. It wasn't just about her being mean to her staff, though that was the crack that started the collapse. No, the truth that's beginning to surface is far more unsettling. We're talking about allegations that link the Queen of Kindness to the most depraved network in modern history. As the redacted files from the Jeffrey Epstein case slowly leak into the public domain, a terrifying question has emerged. Was the Be Kind lady actually a key recruiter for a monster?
Starting off with the one and only Ellen DeGeneres, who forever was the darling of Hollywood, the show that we all watched, the best entertainer. But the more you go back into the content, the more you realize it's uber duber freaking.
The fall began with a whisper that turned into a roar. Insiders, including major figures like Joe Rogan, started pointing out the glaring inconsistency between the character on the screen and the person in the wings. Rogan famously noted that once the curtain dropped, the kindness evaporated, replaced by a persona that many described as a B-word of the highest order. But why does that matter? In the world of high-level influence, a reputation for being difficult is often just the tip of the iceberg. When people found out that her half-hour persona was a total fabrication, they started looking closer at who she was actually spending her time with. They discovered that while she was preaching to the masses, she was allegedly rubbing elbows with individuals who operated in the shadows of elite society. It turns out we've been taught that predators are old men hiding in dark alleys, but the most dangerous ones are often the friends, the socialites, and the trusted faces we welcome into our living rooms every afternoon.
The Ellen situation.
Yeah.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a bitch. And then everybody, whoa,
Yeah.
can't believe it. And she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, she's a piece of shit. And he was like, she's a monster.
What if I told you that Ghislaine Maxwell, the woman convicted of aiding Epstein's vile activities, didn't just happen to know people in Hollywood, she allegedly used them? According to a mystery assistant who has recently begun speaking with investigators, Maxwell's primary goal when she moved to the United States was to infiltrate the celebrity scene. She needed a gatekeeper, someone with a squeaky clean image who could provide the social cover necessary to move among the elite. This assistant claims that Maxwell specifically targeted the talk show host to help grow the empire. Think about it. If you wanted to lure someone into a circle of influence, who would you use? You'd use a face that everyone trusts. You'd use the person who represents wholesome, family-friendly fun. These reports suggest that the recruitment wasn't happening in secret rooms, but through the very platforms that millions of people watched every day.
I did a movie a long time ago in New York, and I was with Homicide, and I got to see the contortion of a face when someone gets murdered, and it's hard to watch. But when you start going into this, which is children, there is something that I can't even fathom. I had no choice but to go in, and I hear the screams in my heart. I hear the screams because of the agents that I got to work with, got to show me things. And one particular time, he says, "Are you sure you want to go further?" It took me 2 years to get over this.
How has this changed you? How is experiencing that material and having to play it out changed you?
I will tell you this right now. I would absolutely die. If this were to change the world and get rid of trafficking and pornography and all of the 8 arms of this octopus that has to be destroyed, the only way you can destroy it is take the head out. If that hit, I'd give my life for it in a heartbeat.
But the connections go deeper than just social circles. They might be etched into the very walls of her studio. This is where the story takes a turn into the truly bizarre. If you look at the architectural design of the show's set stage, the similarities to Epstein's private island are nothing short of haunting. Critics have pointed out that the couch arrangements, the specific color palettes, the soft furnishings, and even the placement of the palm trees are a mirror image of the temple and the main residence on Little St. James. There's even the striped building backdrop that matches the infamous blue and white structure on the island. Is it just a massive coincidence, or was it a subtle nod to those in the know? When this was pointed out on various broadcasts, the reaction wasn't a simple denial. It was a frantic attempt to move the conversation elsewhere. But once you see the visual evidence, it's impossible to unsee.
Did you know that Ellen DeGeneres' stage set is exactly the same as on Epstein Island, with all the couches, the same colour, the same soft furnishings, palm trees, window, everything to the T? And I'm like,
really?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey, aren't we getting some up now?
Getting some up now on our screen?
Yeah, there's palm trees, you're right.
But look at the backdrop behind her, striped building,
Emma, there's
palm
nothing
trees.
to see here.
But don't berate her.
I'm not berating, I'm just saying.
I'm going to look further.
And then there's the pizza situation. For years, the internet has been obsessed with the idea of coded language used by the elite, and pizza is always at the center of it. On this specific talk show, the obsession with pizza was relentless, from ordering it at the Oscars to having entire segments dedicated to it with guests like Harry Styles, Jennifer Aniston, and Adam Sandler. The word was used with a frequency that felt forced. Now, here's the kicker. Jeffrey Epstein's former personal chef has gone on the record stating that Epstein was an absolute health fanatic. He had a strict, clean diet and almost never touched junk food. So why does the word pizza appear thousands of times in the Epstein files? And why were these A-list celebrities so insistent on discussing pizza parties on air, even when it added nothing to the conversation? Commenters have pointed out that these stars all have private chefs who can cook anything in the world, yet they all seem to draw the line at pizza, insisting on making it themselves or hosting pizza nights. To many, this feels less like a culinary preference and more like a secret handshake.
She likes to. She's busy all the time. I know she's the greatest host, but
She is a good.
I'm going to bed at 9. I can't come over. Your thing starts at 8:30. So
yes, she can handle it. She can handle it. And her parties are incredible at her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza. All right, just y'all are all like,
So all these celebs have private chefs that cook the majority of their food, but pizza is where they draw the line and decide to bust out their chef's hat. Lol, this is honestly frightening, and they're definitely not talking about pizza. Notice how they always have to bring up the pizza thing, even though it adds nothing to the conversation. They could just say, we went to eat something, or we had a meal. No, it's specifically pizza. Notice how when they're telling these stories, there's no substance in them. It's all blah, 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 and then we had pizza. That's most definitely code talk.
And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do.
The most heart-wrenching part of these allegations involves a young teenage girl and her family. The assistant revealed that under the guise of mentorship and launching a modeling career, a young girl was allegedly targeted at a celebrity-funded camp. The promise was simple: scholarships, guidance, and a fast track to the big leagues. But the assistant claims this was a front for coercion and abuse. The girl was lured in by the reputation of the high-profile names attached to the camp. After all, if a world-famous entertainer is backing a project, it has to be safe, right? This is the power of the trusted name. It lowers the defenses of parents and victims alike, making the unthinkable seem like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's a pattern of using prestige as a weapon, and it's a pattern that is becoming harder to ignore. As the legal walls began to close in and the redacted documents started to lose their red ink, the host made a sudden, shocking move. She left the United States entirely. The official reason was to escape political tension, but the timing tells a different story. She relocated to the UK just as a new wave of information regarding the elite circle's controversial activities was hitting the press. For someone who spent decades building an empire in the heart of Hollywood, walking away from it all and moving across the ocean is a massive red flag. Was she escaping the noise, or was she running from the inevitable surfacing of her name in the final set of files? People have noted that her disappearance from the public eye coincided perfectly with the release of records that allegedly connect her to bizarre activities that the public was never meant to see.
The internet is looking for Ellen DeGeneres, but I'm gonna tell you right now, she probably done left the damn country because she knows she's on that damn Epstein list. As Ellen DeGeneres page, former TV show host, her whole page is flooded with comments saying she eats this and she loves pizza parties. The harassment that she is getting on her page is beyond, and people is looking for her to be arrested and get arrested. But I'm gonna tell you right now, a lot of these celebs are fleeing. A lot of these celebs are disappearing because the time has come where everything is getting ready to expose, and they have been used as pawns and puppets. Satan has no use of them. He used them to do their dirty work, to do his dirty work, and now he has no use of them, and he doesn't care what happened to them. This is bad. I don't wish no bad upon no celebs or anybody. Best thing they could do is pray. They have been played and used, and their time has come. It's fallen.
As we look at the ruins of what was once the most powerful brand in daytime TV, we have to ask ourselves, how much did she really know? Was she a victim of the system herself, or was she an active architect of its growth? The reports of secret deals with 25 celebrities to ensure their silence are circulating, and the inconsistencies in the deposition footage are glaring. We've seen the kind persona and we've heard the stories of the monster, but what lies beneath both of those masks might be more terrifying than we ever imagined. The world is finally watching, and the questions are only getting louder. Was the woman who danced into our homes every day the same woman who helped build a monster's empire? And if she was, who else in that elite circle is still hiding in plain sight? The files are still being unsealed, and the mystery assistant isn't done talking yet. Every week, a new name surfaces and a new connection is mapped out. But if you think this is where the story ends, you haven't been paying attention. Because while part 1 was about the mask falling off, part 2 is about what was happening in the rooms where the cameras weren't allowed. We're going to look at the specific events that took place after the Great Escape to the UK and the final shocking piece of evidence that might just seal her fate forever. You won't want to miss what happens next, because the rabbit hole goes much deeper than a talk show stage, and what we found in the next set of transcripts is going to change everything you thought you knew about the kindness queen.
Everybody's trying to I don't give a how much you sold. If you playing on radio, are you connecting? Picasso is dead. Steve Jobs is dead. Walt Disney is dead. Name somebody living that you can name in the same breath as them. Don't tell me about being likable. We got 100 years here. We're one race, the human race, one civilization. We're a blip in the existence of the universe. And we constantly trying to pull each other down, not doing things to help each other. But I feel that I can make a difference while I'm here through my skill set. My skills, I'm an artist. 5 years old, art school, PhD, Art Institute of Chicago. I am an artist. I have a condition called synesthesia where I see sounds. I see them. Everything that I sonically make is a painting. I see the importance. I see the importance and the value of everyone being able to experience a more beautiful life.
In part 1, we looked at the crack in the Be Kind mask and the shocking allegations that the Queen of Daytime was actually a primary recruiter for the most infamous network in Hollywood. We left off with her sudden, frantic move to a rural corner of the UK, a move many believed was an escape from the surfacing Epstein files. But what if she wasn't just running from the law? What if she was running from her own biology? Recently, the paparazzi caught a glimpse of her outside her new home, and the images sent shockwaves through the internet. She didn't just look tired, she looked like a shell of her former self. Word on the street is that the woman who once danced through our living rooms is now going blind, battling a life-threatening disease that most doctors can't even name, but the internet has named it. They're calling it the ultimate biological receipt, a rare condition called CURIO. And if the rumors are true, this isn't just a medical mystery, it's a terrifying confirmation of what was really happening in those secret rooms. You see, CURIO isn't a disease you just catch from the air or water. According to medical experts and the darker corners of the investigative web, it's a prion disease that is specifically linked to the consumption of, well, let's just say probiotics that aren't meant for human consumption. The reports suggest that this illness is already eating her eyesight away, and there is absolutely nothing modern medicine can do to stop it.
I know I'm about to sound completely insane, but just hear me out. This pertains to the Epstein files, the Clintons, and cannibalism, and I feel completely fine and I'm totally okay. Alright, let's do this. How do we know if someone is a cannibal? Well, they could have the CURIO disease, which is a fatal neurodegenerative disease that spreads through eating brain tissue. It has a long incubation period, 10 to 30 years. Early symptoms are headaches, coordination issues, anxiety, and inappropriate laughter. Middle stage, severe tremors and shaking, loss of balance, and slurred speech. Late stage, inability to walk, dementia, and the forever sleep. Do you know of any elites rumored to have consumed human flesh? But I'm not accusing anyone of anything, this is just a fun little joke video. With truth in the mix, in Papua New Guinea they call human long pig. We just love to have fun here. No, the CURIO disease has nothing to do with the Epstein files or anyone in them. Definitely not the Clintons. And I feel fantastic.
This brings us to a haunting warning issued by someone who has been screaming the truth for years, Cat Williams. In his now legendary interview with Shannon Sharpe, Cat didn't just talk about comedy, he talked about Satan's playground. He warned us that Hollywood operates on a ritualistic tributes, where people are used and consumed to maintain power. Cat claimed he turned down $50 million 4 times just to keep his integrity. He said that in 2024, all the big deviants would catch hell, and the lies would be exposed. Looking at the current state of the kindness queen, it seems Cat wasn't just talking, he was prophesying.
Well, this one was super creepy. Y'all like the video right there, and check this out.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. That was my official shrine portrait, which they took as part of my initiation. I was ready to become involved in hardcore Satanism. What did that mean? Well, that meant I had to sell my soul to the devil. I had to sign my name on the contracted blood. I had to sign my name in the black book. You gotta understand something. The satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches it is. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a nonstop, all eternity. So you're smoking, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll through all eternity. And it's party hardy time. And before I could get onto the priesthood of Satanism, excuse me, I had to get 7 people to sell our souls to the devil. The other thing I had to do, and this might astonish some of you, is I had to become a Catholic priest. I had to go back to my original vocation. Because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that surprises you, I just suggest that you go and you read some of the medieval literature. You'll see that that is in fact the case.
But Cat isn't the only one who tried to show us the truth. Remember Steven Twitch Boss? To the world, he was the happy, dancing DJ who kept the energy high on the talk show stage. But behind the scenes, Twitch was an executive producer. He was a business partner. He was deep in the inner circle, privy to information that most staff members could never dream of. When he suddenly offed himself in a hotel room in late 2022, the story didn't sit right with anyone. His wife was frantic, saying he left without his car, which was completely out of character. Now new reports are suggesting a much darker motive for his disappearance. Word on the street is that Twitch had seen something he wasn't supposed to see, something involving Sean Diddy. There is a viral clip resurfacing where Diddy is whispering something to the host while Twitch stands right between them. If you watch Twitch's face, you can see his heart drop. He looks terrified. Some believe he was being serviced to the Diddy network and was about to blow the whistle on the entire operation. This pattern of people close to the host dropping dead under shady circumstances is becoming impossible to ignore. Before Twitch, there was Anne Heche. Anne was the host's ex-girlfriend, and right before her fatal car accident, Anne was starting to put the kindness queen on blast. Anne went on the record saying she broke up with her because her goal was $60 billion, while Anne just wanted love. She accused the host of trying to have her thrown in a facility the moment she started uncovering things that the public was never meant to know. Anne talked about calculated visions and circulations of systems that were designed to bury her truth. And then, just a few months later, Anne was involved in a bizarre high-speed crash that left her trapped in a burning car for 30 minutes. But the story doesn't end with the accident. Fresh, unredacted dumps from the 2026 file releases suggest something truly ghoulish happened afterwards. Investigators are allegedly looking into claims that strings were pulled to claim Anne's body, which was then kept in a mansion freezer for slow, deliberate ceremonies.
I broke up with her because her goal was to have a lot of money. Mine was to find love, and hers was, I want $60 billion. Good luck. Our forks are never going to meet. The further we stay on with this, the further we will be apart.
Truth that I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and could not ask God for what that would be. All I could do was stay on my truth, do what I was doing, and study this thing called love that we tried to bury. And now I am up and out of the ground. And unfortunately, those 2 women could not shut me down.
And Heche as well. But the details right now are that driver identified by TMZ is Anne Heche, the actress. It was sparked a fire, and they pulled her out from the vehicle after pulling the car out from the house, and they tried to get her the medical attention.
The popular self-proclaimed industry insider, TPV Sean, recently accused Ellen of munching on the remains of Anne Heche. I don't know how true all of this is, but that is what these folks are saying.
Ellen DeGeneres, the disgraced daytime TV queen, has been unmasked as the living bridge between Jeffrey Epstein's elite network and Hollywood's satanic occult core. She didn't just visit the island, she dragged Epstein's inner circle into the abyss, initiating them into the ritual consumption of human flesh as an ancient, drenched sacrament. Fresh, unredacted 2026 Epstein file dumps deliver the gut punch confirmation. Ellen, her ex-partner Anne Heche, piece by cursed piece, after the actress was eliminated in that blatantly suspicious car crash, while she was closing in on the Hollywood trafficking pipelines. Investigators now confirm that after the accident, Ellen pulled strings to claim Anne's body, locked it in her mansion freezer like unholy relics, and consumed her former lover in slow, deliberate occult ceremonies over the years. Millions of DOJ pages packed with jerky as code for human baby parts in freezers, yacht dismemberment rituals, and eyewitness accounts of elites eating infant remains like it's a sacrament. Here is Epstein and Woody Allen, casually chatting about devouring parts and crunching bones like it's dinner talk. Hollywood's elite menu gets darker with every file drop.
As we look at the ruins of this once great empire, we have to face the ultimate question. Is this just a series of unfortunate coincidences, or are we witnessing the universe serving karma on a silver platter? The woman who preached kindness is now reportedly living in a dark, silent world of her own making. The monster described by her staff has been unmasked as something far more dangerous, a gatekeeper for a system of depravity. The world is finally asking for justice, not just for the victims of the Epstein network, but for everyone who was silenced along the way. Do you believe the allegations about the unholy relics and the mansion freezer? Was the DJ's death a warning to the rest of the circle? The world is watching, the files are opening, and the truth is finally coming home to roost.